we're not going live anywhere, but it's for us. But we lost a big chunk of audience, and it took a while to get it back on SoundCloud. I mean, it took 3 years to get back to where we were on GoDaddy. GoDaddy, we were murdering on GoDaddy. And then all of a sudden, one day they sent me a letter and gave us 30 days notice saying we're not going to be doing this anymore after 10 years. I was like, wow, really? And then Live 365 went belly up a year after that. So we had big audiences on those. It took a while to recover those audiences, which made me want to blow something up. But anyway, we're pretty much back there. Podbean is covering Live 365, and SoundCloud is covering GoDaddy. So we're back where we were. So now it's just accumulating audiences and moving forward. No, nobody should be looking. So we're doing good there. So hopefully it'll just let y'all use StreamYard by just putting in my thing, and it's going to send me the code to my email account, and I'll just send it to y'all, and hopefully we'll be all right. If not, we'll have to work something else out, but we're going to have to figure it out because there's no way for y'all to log into all of our different systems without having all the different codes, and I would just drive all y'all batshit crazy. LinkedIn, I don't know what they're doing. Pretty sure we will be on LinkedIn. They just take forever to approve us. I don't know what that's about. It's just.
I looked that up, Joe, and they want some criteria for you to be going live on there. So I looked it up. They want you to be posting. They want you to be sharing stuff. They want you to be putting videos up. They want to see that you're active on the network before they'll approve you, because I just looked into that last week. And somebody contacted me on there that wanted me to look at their program, how to get successful on LinkedIn. And I thought, I'm not paying you. I can figure it out myself.
Yeah. Well, I've contacted them. They told me it'd be about 30 days for them to make a decision. We got 27,000 followers over there, I think.
I'll send you what I have afterwards.
Send it up.
Or anybody else that wants it.
Because I applied to them on 3 different, on my personal page, on the home page, and on the profile page.
Well, I'll send you what the criteria is for them to even look at you and approve you. But that's what they want.
Yeah.
So
well, that's fine. So, but anything that can help get us on there, it's just another venue to go on. Now, for the mean shit. First off, on YouTube, this I'm gonna be blatantly honest about YouTube. So you get 1 strike on YouTube, you're off the network for 30 days. That's how it's going to be. You get 2, you're going to be off for 60. And if for any reason you get hit by YouTube again, you're off the network. Plain and simple. I'm tired of fucking with them. They're really getting on my nerves, and I'm thinking about blowing the whole fucking YouTube up. So I got to get it under control. And the sad part about this is, this is something that really pisses me off. Most of the time when they nail us on something, it's not something that any of us or any of our other venues would consider harmful, which pisses me right off the thing. The other day we got hit. I'm not going to mention who it was. They already know about it. We got hit. And nobody else, not Facebook, not anybody we're on, gave a good fuck but YouTube. YouTube is the only one that cared. So, like Kathy did last night, and just like you did the other night, Laura Lee, if you know it's a show that you think is going to get us hit, tell me ahead of time, and I will remove it off of YouTube. Yeah, but
it's kind of dangerous, Joe, if you don't know what they're going to hit, even if you're careful, and then you get nailed. That's not really fair either.
Well, most of the time you'll have a good idea what it's going to be. I mean, most of us know what the criteria YouTube are looking for. Okay. And I got to be honest with you about this. I've been seriously thinking about, I don't want to get rid of YouTube, but I've been seriously thinking about just taking them and just going back onto BitTube and YouTube and all of them and doing it that way, because their audiences are starting to build, and YouTube is just such a fucking pain in the ass, and I don't like being censored. It's, I started this network on the simple fact I did not want to fucking be censored. So even I sometimes will have to turn YouTube off so this ahead of time. When you do a show that you know that's going to happen, telling me to turn off YouTube, you got to remind me to turn off Spreaker, because Spreaker backfills to YouTube. So even if we turned off YouTube, it will send an audio version back to YouTube, which could get us now. So you keep both of them in your head, knowing it. I mean, it's not all the time. It doesn't happen a lot. Like Kathy last night, Kathy warned me right off the bat, coming in. So we took her off YouTube and I turned off Spreaker. So it's not a big deal. But I just got UFO Paranormal back on, and what was it, Thursday or Friday, we got hit. And which put us right, so I can't even monetize that station for 45 days now. I won't be able to monetize that station.
What are our numbers like, Joe? Is it worthwhile? Is it worth the hassle?
UFO Paranormal it's building. It's going to catch up with United Public probably in about 3 or 4 months. So it'll be up to 4,000 followers and probably 10 or 15,000 views a month, and 20 or 30,000 hours. So that's fine. I mean, we make money on that. We can also monetize the member stuff. The member stuff was actually doing well in United Public when they nailed us. It was getting to the point where it was starting to pay for the girls' shows. So right now, since their show is fully sponsored, they would be getting $200 or $300 a month just lanyard if the membership was still there. So that screwed them, that screwed us, and neither one of us got hit. So that makes it even worse. So it's costing us money, and we're not the ones that got in trouble for it. So that somebody else got us in trouble for it. So that really pisses off anybody who's getting money or going to get money, and we get hit like that. That's a direct shot at the hosts that are working hard to get money. So I want to see everybody in the station making money. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'd like to see everybody here getting a monthly check. Would make me a real happy camp, because if y'all are getting a monthly check, that means I'm making good money, enough that I can give my other business to my sons. So that's a good thing all the way around. We got to balance out YouTube. I'm not sure how we're going to do. And like I said, we may just go to YouTube and BitTube and tell YouTube to fuck off, because none of them others seem. Now I hear they're going to start monitoring TikTok. So I thought about putting a station on TikTok, but now I don't know. I might just put it up there and see how it goes. We might just throw it up there and see how it does. Or we might just do 3-minute clips and point them back to one of our other station brands and let them go there.
I've been trying that out, Joe. It's actually got some pretty good interaction. I don't have a ton of followers on there.
Well, I noticed they like Fiona over there quite well. So
yeah.
So there is hope for them. I just heard today that the president is going with Facebook and some of the others to start monitoring misinformation. Well, unfortunately for us, since we do UFOs and ghosties and a lot of other brand stuff, it's a good shot that we could get considered misinformation. So we're going to have to be real careful when they start doing that. But I don't know. Facebook leaves us alone. I mean, we broadcast, about 40 shows in there a week live, and they haven't had a problem with any of them. Not any of them. Knock on wood somewhere if I get us jinxed. But so they're fine. It's just YouTube is the only problem. And we can monitor YouTube and deal with that per show. And there's only a few shows that are going to get into that area anyway. Kathy likes to cause trouble at YouTube from time to time. Even though they don't fuck with her page, they just fuck with ours. It still don't make any sense. Of course, when Laura Lee gets a crazy person, you got to deal with it.
I warned you.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, but that's the point. As long as we're being warned, we can deal with it. We can deal with it.
We also had a lot of feedback. I had it personally as well as during the show. I never get that much conversations, and people want to hear stuff like that too.
Yeah, they do. That's a problem they want to do, but that's the other problem. YouTube won't allow us to do it, so we can do it through Twitch, or we can do it through Twitter, or as soon as LinkedIn gets on, we can do it through there. If we put BitTube in, because they give you STM thing on here, which I'm trying to work out with BitTube right now, and put them in, and then that way we could just kind of slowly but surely phase YouTube out, unless it takes off real well. But they hit us on stuff like hate speech, and I listen to archives. I don't hear any hate speech in it. Medical disinformation, which really, for the most part, you don't really hear that. For some reason, I guess if you talk to alternative medicine, they consider that disinformation, which just pisses me off because they can't prove that it's disinformation. They just jack it up there. And I have not, in the early days, I've won every appeal we did. I have not won an appeal in a year and a half with these people. They just jank us and yank us and say fuck you, and that's just how it is. So I'm gonna be real strict on the YouTube thing. Everything else y'all don't have to worry about. Y'all can say pretty much what you want. Just remember, I'll give everybody, once we go FM, y'all. That's the other thing too. While we're in the FM thing, you will be required. The host will be required about every 15 minutes. You're listening to United Public Radio, whatever the call numbers are. That's all you got to say. You don't have to go anywhere else, because I don't want to break y'all up with me having to turn on a player. Because that'll just throw the show off, because it's going to be like a second lag before and a second lag at the end. It's just easier for the host to say it. It don't take long. Y'all will get used to it pretty fast. But it is required by the FCC that we do let you. And you know why they do that, right? In case you say something you're not supposed to, so they know who the fuck you are. But that's why they do that. But for the most part, I've been doing FM now for 14 years. We haven't really had any big problems. Most of the hosts catch on really, really fast. So it's not a problem. We've already, like John Goodwin's not here. He didn't have to make the meeting. His show already is perfect. You've seen his video. You see his intro. He's always dressed nice. He always looks nice. He's very polite. He's he does guests that are very polite, which is kind of weird. Because I like to have fun with my guests. I got to be honest with you. When I do radio, I want to have some fun. Michael and I, when we're doing politics, sometimes we can get heated, but we still don't get into the F word or the C word or anything along those words. So
that's funny.
Or like when we did Sean and Jenny show the other 2 weeks ago, it got heated, but everybody still stayed within the guidelines of language. So and the show got heated. I was rude as could be, and the show did really well. The archive numbers did well. The live numbers did well. So it shows you can have a heated conversation without getting your ass in trouble with the FCC. So that's just, and for people who didn't know what we're talking about, go listen to it. You'll listen to it. It was a great show. It was a lot of fun. I just had a lot of fun just picking on everybody.
I'm glad you did, man. Especially the one dude, man. You really get a number on him.
He had it coming. Well, people mistake that like I don't think Roswell was aliens. I do think it was aliens. I just think that we were flying the craft. They were just along for the ride, kind of guiding us. I think we recovered it from the Germans during the war, actually. But still, it was a fun show. Yes. I had a lot of fun doing it, and they had a lot of fun. And whether they came away heated or happy, you can't deny the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. So it lets you know Jenny did a good job hosting. You did a good job hosting. Jason was like, yeah, don't fuck with me, buddy. But still, it was fun. I had fun. Everybody had fun, probably except for Tom, but everybody else had fun.
Tom, he wasn't a happy camper, dude.
No, I'm sure he was because he don't like being challenged. But hey, that's what I'm here for. I got into ufology to challenge ufologists because a lot of times they're wrong and they're not right, and they get stuck in these loops and they can't get out of it. Like the Betty and Barney Hill case, they can't get out of it. They get stuck, even though the evidence suggests something else. They still get stuck. So, I've been doing that for 30 years in the field. That's why MUFON hates me. I almost killed him. I had actually almost stomped MUFON out completely until a good friend of mine who passed away, one of the hosts, who was my international director, D. Andrew, called me up and said, Joe, can you please stop? I got friends there. Literally, I was turning all the ufologists against him and shit. I was having on shows. We were a big fest. And I was interviewing all their directors saying, well, I don't want to talk to somebody who's black ops because 4 of their directors were black ops. So eventually, so I said, okay, I'll leave him alone as a courtesy. She had breast cancer. She's a really good friend of mine. So I said, if you want me to stop, I'll stop. And they still haven't grown them, which I think last I heard they were around 2,900 or 3,000 members. So I was like, God, that kind of sucks. But still, somebody makes some money there. And when I talked with Bigelow about him after he dropped him, it was kind of like, I said, he dropped him because they were going on a spending spree. Started laughing. He's like, yeah, we kind of did it. And I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get an interview with him. If I don't, maybe John will get him. But we're pushing to get one with him and with Elon. So y'all keep y'all's fingers crossed because that'll be a big boost for the station as well. Elon's. I know one lady that works over there, but I don't think she's far enough up the ladder to get me close enough to him. I'm hoping I can catch him like on a podcast somewhere and just call in and say, hey, Elon, I got this station, got these amount of listeners. Can you come on? I'll put him on the science show, which will make him feel more comfortable, unless he wants to get on a pod show or something like that. And then we can go there. But now moving on to the more fun stuff. So I had Galaxy Press. Well, actually not Galaxy Press. I had Writers of the Future, iHeart, and NK. I forgot the name of them now. They're another award company. I had them go over the network. Okay. Now they liked a lot of what they heard. And by the way, y'all can wear hats all y'all want. Just make sure they don't have commercial logos on them. Somebody asked me about that yesterday, so I just thought I'd bring it up. You can wear whatever you want. Sometimes I'll put on one of the caps behind. I was going to show you, but apparently they're not behind me anymore. Somebody must have been cleaning. But yeah, you can wear them. They can have logos on them, but they just can't be, saying a political statement or a statement unless you're doing a political show. So we do allow props, by the way. No smoking cigarettes, but if you're doing like a hardcore show where you got a cigar, that's part of your prop. You can use that. That's fine. Other than that, no smoking on the skies. Mainly because I just get bitched at. It's not illegal or anything. It's just, man, people start writing, oh, you're promoting this, you're promoting. I just get fucking tired of hearing about it, to be honest with you. That's really what that's about. Really.
So interesting, or people will think your spouse is beating you.
Yes, that's true. Picking on people like that. And then the only other things is y'all can wear shorts, but they can't see them. No sitting on beds, no shorts if they can't see them. Laura Lee, no wife beaters.
Okay.
That's just for you. somebody else does it, but they're not here, so I can't tell them, but I will tell them next week.
We're not allowed to flash the cameras, man. I mean, that's extra ratings right there.
No, unfortunately, that's not. Well, like last night, it was funny. So I'm in a suit last night, but I was wearing shorts. So I've got a shirt on the top
Am
of the
I allowed
jacket.
to melt on camera then? Because
I know it's hot. That's what I'm saying. But unfortunately,
Just move your camera up, Lorley. I don't think you realize that you've exposed yourself a couple of times, and I'm concerned for you.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
Just move it up higher.
But this is all stuff that's easy fixes. None of this is hard fixes.
Got some wild Canadians up there. Yeah.
We are
All
wild.
Canadians
It's
are
really
wild.
hot
What are you
up
talking about? All Canadian women are wild. We talked about this the other day. Matter of fact, I was picking on Emily about this last night because she's another damn Canadian. I actually asked John, "Is any fucking Americans left in the country, man? What's going on?" But
that's
really,
why the men are so effeminate, man. Look at Justin Trudeau. Look at Mr. Pink Shorts. You got to have like a balance. What the heck's going on?
But anyway, so that was the suggestions they went through. They were happy with the audio. They were happy with the video, so we didn't catch no flack on that. I got 2 complaints: one that I'm not as mean as I used to be, and 2 that have been kind of squirrely lately, which both are true. I can't deny it. Michelle tells me all the time I'm squirreling out on the show, so
Always.
so I will be more conscious of that in the future. And just because it's one of those things, but for the most part, dress decent. We got a bunch of good looking hosts. Fortunately, we don't have any real ugly hosts or anything like that. We don't have no Howard Sterns on the network that scare the crap out of you. And then no sharing of cameras unless you got a real camera that you can sit back and see. Tell your guests the same thing because it looks stupid. Matter of fact, the Syracuse is going to get bitched out about that. They're going to get bitched out about the way their camera setup is. And the way their audio breaks up, sponsors don't want to hear that shit. They want to see you nice and presentable. They dress nice. They just got to figure out how to work out their cameras and their audio issues, or else they're going to lose a sponsor. So nobody wants to lose a sponsor. Everybody wants to keep their sponsor. Matter of fact, everybody needs a sponsor on the network. So I do know Carnation is looking at 3 other shows on the network because they're not happy with Horseshoe Flies. I'm not going to say who they are. I'll just tell you that there are 3 shows that don't have sponsors yet, and there are 3 shows that are doing over 250,000 listeners, which is everybody in this group. So it could be any of y'all. But when they tell me who it is, I'll tell y'all who it is. And because I will say this, I told this to Sean the other day. I think I told Jenny too. They're willing to if y'all go to a second hour, they're willing to sponsor you second hour, so it wouldn't cost y'all anything to move. Just so you know. And so that was nice of them. I was trying to get them to sponsor the whole show. Well, I was trying to get them to sponsor the whole show, but they said, well, why don't we wait and see how they do, and then we'll go from there. So in 6 months, it may sponsor, just like they did what Folgers did with the ladies. They gave them a year, and then they went ahead and started sponsoring them because, they looked at their show. The show's tight. It's solid. They had good backgrounds. They're very well spoken. So they had good guests. So I'm not really – the guest thing, I'm happy with everybody's guest loads. I'm going to be honest. Everybody's guests so far I've been happy with. Whatever your show happens to be running, everybody's been doing good guests. And even when y'all aren't doing good guests, you're doing good conversations like when I caught the 3 of y'all when Chasing Prophecy the other day. Y'all did a good show last week. It was very, very well put together. Okay. I'll answer that right now. I'm not going to say that came from. So, it's way featured goes. Featured goes on 2 things on this network right now: on how much you pay and how many listeners you get. So, like with the Outer Realm actually pays quite a bit to be on the network. They don't anymore. Folgers does, but they have 2 shows and they pay quite a bit to be on the network, more than anybody else does, by the way. And Folgers covers that now. But their listenership right now, like to put this in perspective, Wednesday they did 1.5, Thursday they did 1.7. So they're going to get featured because the simple amount of numbers they're getting, they're blowing everybody out of the water. The only one's competing with them right now is myself. Nobody else is even coming close. So you got to get there now. But what I do, so for the other paid shows, for the other paid shows on the network, or the shows that are breaking 500,000, I feature y'all in our Google ads, and you can tell by the amount of listeners you're getting. So to put this in perspective, like if I catch like Chasing Prophecy or one of Michael's shows, you'll notice they're anywhere from 100,000 all the way up to 300, 350,000. That's a direct relation to the Google ads. So what happens is we work with Google, $70,000 a year spent with Google. and they feature y'all. So they'll, however they do it, they put it up radio. So if somebody hits United Public Radio, like 3 or 4 shows will come up, and then they'll feature it this way or feature it that way. Matter of fact, they got featured ads going up, I think, in a week or two. And so most of the time, the ads are running about almost every month. There's a month or two there we kind of go light on, like December. It kind of seems like a waste to feature them in December because December's a weird month. Most of us are doing light guest or doing Christmas stuff or things along those lines. So it's not really a need to feature because your regular audience is going to be there anyway. Now, if you do break 500,000, you do get featured in the featured category from time to time. Like every other week, I'll feature y'all. Or if I knock myself out or somebody else, like the good ones, I'll feature y'all that way. So, like, put this in perspective. Jeffrey's real close to getting there. Chasing Profits is real close to getting there. Both of y'all are within 100,000 of being regular featured shows because of your listening audience. Okay. Just something y'all know. Y'all aren't that far out from there. Honestly, I think if you had 2 hours, you'd already be there. I think you'd already.
I want to do it.
I'm gonna get with y'all on a separate time, and we're gonna see how we might be able to move something around or how we can change things around a little bit. But because really and truly, I think y'all would already be in that position. And see, I don't mind taking myself out of feature because I know what my show is going to do regardless. I've got a listening base for 30 years now, so my shows are going to always do well. They're just out there, and I get a lot of people pick me up. I think, I've made friends with a lot of people. I think about 570, maybe 600 people actually repost my shows. Not when I say people, I mean like you follow or people that are out there and up in the business. They actually feature my shows. These are a couple of radio networks. You got to remember, UFO Cover is on. I think it's 30 AM and 40 FM stations now, so it's actually syndicated. It does well, and each one pays me $25 a month per episode. So just to give y'all an idea how that works. So that's another thing. All live shows are sponsored through the network. We don't mind if people syndicate them, but we don't allow for people to do live on other networks. Now, they can be syndicated. They can even be simulcasted, but home network is still the home network. And that's the reason we do that, because we want people coming looking for the people here, and then they can go wherever the hell they want after that. But we still want them coming through our service and our network, because that way we get the clicks, plain and simple. And clicks go into advertisement money, basically, is how that works. Whether it's FM, whether it's AM, whether it's internet, doesn't matter. You can see all that. So, and another thing that's going to happen, once we go back full FM, every 30 days we get audited. So there's a company we pay like $3,300. So we'll take $1,000 out each month. And they come out and they audit it. What they do is they'll go around to the local shopping malls and different places, restaurants and stuff like that. And they will say, hey, have you ever heard of United Public Radio? Do you listen to United Public Radio? And if you do, what shows do you listen to? So we get those numbers, So what they do is they do the audit based on the area, how the areas, how many listeners are in those areas. And then they come back with a total for you. And then we know what the total is going to be. Now, we were doing this every year until the Hard Rock Casino collapsed and kind of fucked us. They jacked us when they cut us down to, when that casino fell, we cut down to just the CBD. That's the only place we were broadcasting noise, which is cool. I mean, there's 2 million people there, but it wasn't designed for that. It was designed to broadcast into the suburbs and everywhere else where there's 6 million or 5 million people. Or how many are 4 million? So we want that back, but we also want Pensacola. Pensacola's a great place for us. A lot of military people there, a lot of haunted shit there. It's a good place, but Mobile, Alabama is just a small New Orleans, which actually it's on catching up with New Orleans. A lot of weird stuff goes on there, a lot of haunted stuff there. It's going to come across through Ocean Springs, Biloxi, Gulfport, which are all decent-sized cities, and then it's going to come to Restaurant. Then it's going to go over Slidell, which I got 250,000 people in it now. And then it's going to hit New Orleans. It's also going to hit Baton Rouge. So crossing those areas, and then it's going to go up north a ways, through Hattiesburg, Jackson, Shreveport, Louisiana. It might make Atlanta. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. We'll find out when the tower goes up. They're saying we should hit Atlanta, which is just another big metro area. So these are areas that open up not just listeners for us, but revenue opportunities. Because here we're going to have actually people we can go in that can hear the show. They can just go to the FM dial and listen, and then they can decide who they want to advertise with or how they want to advertise with. The daytime shows are a different run than the nighttime shows are, but still, they'll have the choice of where they want to put their ads. And a lot of people will probably just take general ads or be like $3,500 a month, and they get 30 spots, I think, 34 spots. and or I'm sorry, 60 spots because it runs twice a day, so it's 60 spots for $3,000 or $3,500. So once we accumulate 8 or 10 of them, that starts putting money in host pockets. Anybody those ads run on after we reach the benchmark price gets a cut. Now the downside to general ads is it kind of sucks because if you spread it out across the live and syndicated shows, it minimizes the kind of money you make. But remember, sponsors have the option of picking live shows that they want to sponsor. They can sponsor those shows, and the host gets, if it's only, so let's say if one comes in, they say they want to do Chasing Prophecy, because there's a lot of paranormal groups down here, by the way. And a lady asked me about it the other day about sponsoring one of y'all shows. And if that's the case, they'll get, it's 40% of the ad. Actually, it's 45% of the ad. 5% goes to fees and all, but actually 10% goes to fees and all, so 5 on each side. But then you get 45% of that ad. So if that ad is $4,000 and we're over our benchmark, that's like $1,800 in your pocket.
Cool.
Or it could be $1, it could be $10, it could be anything. It just depends on what they pick. But that's their option. They can sponsor any shows they want. So you probably will see an uptick like in September, October, and November. You'll probably see quite a few of the sponsored, the paranormal shows in this network get sponsored because, Atlanta, New Orleans, all these cities down south are very haunted cities. So they'll take advantage of that during those months. And then, if they see a decent enough uptick in revenue, they'll come back and sponsor those shows again at different times in the year. We will see a decrease in summertime ads because everybody here is outside. Everybody's doing whatever the hell they're doing. But like I tell them, you can listen now on your car, even if you don't, even if you have a hard time picking this on FM, you can flick on your phone and listen to us that way. So they can listen to it on that way. So there's lots of ways that they can pick us up. But this all got restarted because a good friend of mine got tired of listening to us on the phone. She wants to listen to us on FM. So because she's a good friend of mine, and we do have the land to put the towers on now, we're going to go ahead and set up a new tower. So once the FCC clears it, hopefully within next week we'll hear the clearance on that. We'll go ahead and put up, it's going to be a 130-foot tower broadcasting 7,500 watts and whatever number it's going to be. I got 3 people researching this because the number's got to be, it's got to be in Penn, it's got to be in Florida, it's got to be in Alabama, and it really needs to be in Georgia too, and Mississippi and Louisiana, so 5 states. And we want it to be in Texas because that's our next reach over is going to be Texas. So we need this to broadcast in 6 states. And it'll be a nice thing for y'all when you come on because you will be plugging it and say, welcome all 6 states. You can run them off through your mouth real fast or put them in the promo for that matter. And it's prestige for the shows, just like winning these awards are prestige for the shows, which also helps advertisement. And it also helps you to pick up new listeners. But we won't know the FM listeners, like I said, but every 30 days. So probably every 90 days. So probably every 90 days we'll have a meeting just about who's doing what on FM, what their numbers are. And let me tell you something. You may see some shows do quite better on FM than other shows. I can already tell you, like the Centralist is going to do really well on FM because it did in the past. It's just politics. It's all it is. It's just politics. So it's not even politics. It's just news. It'll get picked up and played pretty well. A lot of the UFO shows and the paranormal shows will do well because a lot of listeners down here like listening to that stuff. So they can listen in the afternoons while they're driving, or they can replay them during the day because we'll replay a lot of that stuff. We're going to probably set up. In the old days, the way we did it was, so let's say Thursday night shows played at night. So we would rerun them during the daytime and Friday starting at lunchtime. So from lunchtime to 6 o'clock, they would be listening to those shows, and then something would play at 7, and then the network picks up it's Friday, and then it happens on Saturday as well. Now, they'll get a bonus on Saturday because Michelle and I do the Gray Zone Uncensored on Saturday, so that's a bonus show for them because they're not going to be able to get it anywhere else but pay for listen after that. If you're not on there on Friday, and remember, people, y'all can do this as well. And this generates money when we have it on YouTube or wherever we're going to end up putting it. It generates money for y'all. Everybody gets a share of whatever the revenues come off of that. The more shows you have and pay for listen, the more likely you are to make money. I think before we started seeing real money coming in for myself and for the girls, we were, about 15 shows in, Michelle? 10, 15 shows in when we started?
Yeah, we were at least that before we lost the network. So
that's just a schedule thing that's extra. It's lanyard, but that show is killing. I mean, that freaking thing is huge. I actually told Michelle maybe we should do it early in the morning just to get the audience down. And don't get me wrong, it's flattering for the two of us, but our goal was to generate income. Plus, we left one up for free. The damn thing last I checked, there's already over 600,000 plays in the archive. We have one of them up. We don't put any in mud. It's the only one we've made available so far. Audience before last week was almost 3 million. I was stunned. I mean, I was just stunned. I was like, who the hell's listening to us on midday Saturday? Well, 9 minutes. It's late. It's dinner time. I guess maybe they're putting their fucking TV on and watching this on while they're having dinner. I don't know, but it's so weird because we picked that slot. Her and I talked about this for weeks. And we picked that slot because we figured it was just going to be a dead slot. You know, maybe 100 listeners, 500 listeners. And it started out slow, but all of a sudden when people realized we were there, because we both got pretty good sized followings.
But our first show was still almost like 500,000 though.
Well, I kind of expected that because we're kind of well known, but I was like, still surprised that
400.
Yeah, I'm really surprised where it is right now. I mean, it's just phenomenal. But in all fairness to everybody that's here in this group right now, everybody's audience has been on the uptick. Nobody's audience has been on the downtick. Everybody's been, anywhere. The station grew 33% during COVID, and then we kind of flattened out about a month and a half ago, and now we're starting to do another little uptick. So really, the ratings are slowly moving up for everybody. But, it does have a lot to do with personality. It does have a lot to do with guest. Or if you're not doing guest, it has a lot to do with subject matter. Like with Michael. Michael's been staying between 400 and 600,000. He stays up in there somewhere. It just depends what he's talking about. And he's been doing radio with us for quite a long time now. Jeffrey's actually qualified for featured ads now. Last time I checked, he was running about 550 on average. So it's not. It sounds like a lot, but what's weird about our audience is when it's even hard for me to adjust sometimes. But so, like if I took my show from last week, which was 1.4 million, if I look at that, about 400,000 of that was U.S. audience. The rest was spread around 160, 170 countries. It just depends what you like. China, I think we had 170,000 in it. Russia had like 80,000 in it. The Europe itself was about 300,000. The Asian world was probably about 200,000. But the thing about it is it's because they're spread out. So if you take like the 300,000 in Europe, well, there's 26 countries in the EU. If you break that down by population, that's like 1.5 listeners per every million people. That's not a lot. It sounds like a lot when you listen to the actual number. But it's one of the things I like to drive home to the host. It's not as big as you think it is because you have to do it on a population basis. So even with 500,000, so if you had 500,000 listeners like in one city or one state, you're making money. No, hands down, you'll make money, no problem. But so put this in perspective. So like my show, we had 7,000 listeners in New York, about 8,000 listeners in Los Angeles, and then a couple of California ended up banking out around 26,000 for the whole state. Louisiana had about 1,500. Mississippi had about 1,000. So it breaks up. So it spreads that audience out. So if we're not doing national ads, we're not making money because you can't get a local advertiser that they don't really care that you spread out that far because they don't care. All they care about is what's in their city. So the goal for us is while we're breaking 5 states now, it allows us to really go in and say, okay, we've got 100,000 listeners across these 5 states. Well, that's advertisement for them. They want to hear. That's what they want to hear. That's what they're going to get. And it won't be that hard for shows to pull that across 5 states, especially the states we're talking about. Atlanta, we have a big audience in Atlanta already, pretty decent audience in New Orleans already on our internet side. So, we're going to be transferring a lot of that over to our FM side, which will just help generate advertisement. And the main reason we're going with the 5-state area is, one, it helps us to spread out the audience across 5 states. But 2, FM advertisement is much higher than internet. So to help with this, right now I got a couple of different ad companies we work with. One of them pays me $3.57 a click. One pays me $5 a click. So it just varies on what you're doing. Podbean, we make $3.75 a click over there. So just to put into perspective, what's going to be going on. Well, when you get into FM advertising, that jumps way high. It's like $30 a click. So it's a lot more money involved for everybody here. So for us to make this profitable, see, the station needs to generate X amount of money anyway, because like I said, I want to give my other companies to my boys so I can spend time just doing advertisement with the network, which if I can get out and work 5 days a week just selling advertisement, everybody in this network is going to be making money. But right now, I got a day job that I can't. I'm actually selling a lot of work because right now I just scheduled out about $200,000 worth of work. But that doesn't help y'all any. It helps me a lot, but it doesn't help any of y'all even a little bit. So, either that or we need to find someone to take over and do advertisement, because the station has a big audience and more people. I mean, right now we have Coca-Cola sponsoring, we have Carnation sponsoring, we have Community sponsoring, we have Toyota sponsoring, and we have Folger sponsoring. So we have 5 big companies sponsoring the network. And they're sponsoring different shows and they're sponsoring different things. Coca-Cola, though, they're funny. Michelle and I went through this earlier with them. It was about a year ago, 8 months ago. They're weird how they want to do stuff, and it's kind of irritating in the way.
No, to the point where we declined.
Actually, they did decline.
Yeah, we did decline.
It just wasn't worth. Even right now, I think they would be making $50 a month. I think is what it's in. It's just, so it's going to be different with different sponsors. And like I said, now if Coke decides to advertise on the FM side, that's $25,000 for the ads they're getting right now, but they pay almost $2,500 for. That we paying $25,000 for. So you can see the difference in revenue. And we tried. Doing just New Orleans. There's a lot of competition in New Orleans. You got WWL, you got WRNO. These are stations that have been around 70 years. They have good broadcast venues. They broadcast over 5 or 6 or 7 states themselves. So we beat them out the last 2 years in a row for best broadcasting. So that's going to help us when we spread out across our FM stations. We'll be able to brag about that. We'll also be able to brag about the People's Choice Awards. We'll be able to brag about the iHeart Awards. And we won an award in the UK, top 5 podcasters in the UK. So that'll be getting published to the site sometime. Whenever it gets in, it'll be on the site like 2 weeks. So we're winning awards all over the place, and we're getting nominated for awards all over the place. So that helps us out. That means that y'all are doing y'all's job for the most part, and things are going on. So think about how you're dressing when you get on camera. Think about what's going on. For y'all hot people, I'll buy y'all a damn fan. And actually, what's weird about this right now?
Right here, Amazon. Seriously.
What's bothering me about this right now is, so many of my friends out west are just dying from heat stroke, and not just it. Then you go up to Canada, they're dying from heat stroke too. And these are normally places that aren't that hot. That really sucks. I was talking with the good ones yesterday. Now they said it. What did he say? It was only in the 80s in LA, but the rest of the states like baking. And then it's like starts in Los Angeles. San Francisco, and goes up all the way into the middle of Canada. They shouldn't be seeing temperatures like this. So I know y'all are hot guys. I know it's hot as shit up there, and I know y'all don't use traditional air conditioners up there like we use down here. I don't know how you Pittsburgh people do it, but I don't know if y'all use air conditioners or not.
I just want to apologize to Lori Lee. I didn't mean to snap. It's just, if it was me, I would want to know.
Well,
you know what I mean? I don't want to bring it up and rehash it. That's between you guys. But if it was me and that happened, I would want someone to tell me. I honestly don't believe that it's on purpose or anything like that. I honestly believe she's unaware of it, and you just got to lift that camera up. That's it. Michelle and I have our cameras up high. I'm wearing shorts right now.
Well, you see where my camera's at. Well, see, that's where I'm at. See, y'all can see where am I?
Yeah.
See my little sexy legs. Look at that.
Look at those white legs.
I know.
Yeah, and
you want to see me? Oh, I'll show y'all some white legs. There you go.
You definitely don't have. I don't know where that Italian blood is, man. That is milk white.
Oh no, I know. That's that Scottish Irish shit. I got. Them Celtic.
Yeah,
but I wear shorts a lot because it is hot. My studio is really hot. And like last night, I had the big fan overhead because I was wearing a suit because I didn't want to start sweating while I was doing it. Yeah. And it's tough. And this is not going to be stuff that's going to be easy. We're going to work out these things as a group as we go through this.
Yeah.
Most of us look really good. I know. What was it? Oh, so Marshall Brand, actually, it's a company down here. So they liked what do they call it? Story Girl. If you listen to Laura Lee, they were calling you Story Girl. I'm sorry, Star Girl. It must have been some makeup you were wearing one day because they really liked y'all. So you're going to probably see them as a sponsor. They're not due to kick in until what are we in right now? July, mid-August. They'll kick in as an advertiser. And it's Marshall Brand Clothes is what it is. I'm probably saying the damn name wrong, but they really are a good company. They enjoy our shows a lot. The manager, actually the supervisor, I didn't know we knew each other. So they had contacted me. And I'm like, who are you? And he started telling me something about when we were in our 20s. I'm like, oh, shit, I know who you are. We got to talking. And he said, man, I really like Story Girl. I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? Because he kept saying Story Girl. I was getting confused. He said, no, she's shiny and bright. And And I was like, then I realized who he was talking to. But for some reason, when he said it the first 2 times, I was like, who the hell are you talking about? And then I know, like I told Chasing Prophecy, I know Carnation's interested in y'all. I know they'll do your second hour. They're liable. They're liable to do the whole show if they drop Worship Chronicles. So I know I gotta. I mean, I know these people real well because I've been doing business with them. And they sent me a really nice letter to me, but it was really harsh on them. And none of y'all got those kind of letters. I mean, like I said, we got a couple of complaints here and there, but nothing that I consider harsh. Just stuff that because we're going to the next level. Number one, the gala I'm going to, the 2 galas I'm going to, actually, the one I'm going to in August. These are big. These are Hollywood stars. This isn't playtime shit. Everybody there is a millionaire or multi-millionaire. I'm gonna be the only poor fucking place in both of them. I'm gonna be the only poor person there. I mean, these are serious people. I'm getting serious exposure, not just for myself, but for the station. I've got several upcoming events. I got 4 documentaries coming up this year, 1 movie coming out. This is all boosting for the station. I gotta be honest with y'all. I used to do this because I wanted to get messages out, but I can get all the messages out I want now. So I do this more now for publicity for the station. Because I'm always going to mention the station while I'm in. I'm going to mention ICAR and the network all the time. In case y'all didn't know this, technically the International Community of Alien Research owns the network. I don't. The organization owns it. It was originally designed so that we could always put out our information without having to worry about going on coast to coast and worrying about ancient aliens. And I got an ancient alien gig coming up too. It'll probably be next year, but it'll be filmed this year, but it probably won't air until next year. But still, there's a lot of stuff coming up. And remember this, guys. Anybody in this network can get on coast to coast, okay? All you have to do is have about 30 or 40 people write in on the same day, or 50 people, and they're going to call you up and give you a shot. Because they're just like us. They're looking for guests and hosts all the time. All the time.
That's another one we declined. Seriously.
Just saying.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Wait, hold on, let me tell you. Hold on. I hit okay. I went to hit NP and I hit NO. Stupid ass. Sorry. This thing's always correcting me, people. I don't like being corrected by my phone. Goddamn piece of shit. But really, so we're the FM thing is keeping your mind, the video thing keeping your mind. I want to get all this going. We're going to see if we can work this Skype thing out. I mean, this StreamYard thing out. If we can't, maybe we'll turn it over to Skype or something while I'm out of town. But I don't want y'all missing shows because I'm out promoting this. That doesn't help us. Because one of the things when I'm doing, like when I'm at the galas, one of the things, such and such on, you got to go listen to this show. If it's Tuesday, I'm going to say go listen to these shows. If it's Monday, I'm going to say listen to these shows. If it's Wednesday, I'm going to say go listen to the girls because I'm going to be off. But whatever day it happens to be, I'm going to plug all the shows on the network that night. If it's Thursday, I say, man, you go listen to Pittsburgh Paranormal, or go over listen to Red Pill News and check out the Outer Realm. So this is stuff that, just because they're rich millionaires, they're still going to listen. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, rich people like paranormal too. I had a friend of mine tell me, rich people don't listen to that kind of shit. I said, I don't know what rich people you're talking to. I said, I know a lot of them, and they do listen to this kind of stuff. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. I mean, I don't have a customer that's not a multi-millionaire.
Hey, Adele likes our show, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
right there. That's
cool.
Cool.
I mean, she actually wrote into the network, and she's not the only one. We've had other stars write into the network. So I know ZZ Top did some promos for us back in the day. We still got them, but I can't run them now because the station was UFO Paranormal Radio back then. They're doing a guitar riff, UFO Paranormal Radio. ZZ Top loves them. It was a great little promo. We had what's his name in from Metallica call in one time. We've had a couple of movie stars call in, so I know they're listening. I know that they get bored like everybody else does. They got things they want to do. They go do this shit, and then they come sit at home and listen. Probably stoned out of their gourd or something while they're listening, but still they're listening. So that's really what we want. Just be mindful of your backgrounds. Because I had something. Dad, I forgot. I got flagged on that. I had 3 people calling to me about having Martha behind me, which is not there right now. But they were like, Joe, you shouldn't have Martha, Dan. I'm like, well, you've been listening, you know her name. Well, that's not a good thing. Just, kids. I'm like, we don't promote kids. The network is 18 and over or 21 or whatever the restricted thing is that we're off of that. We're an adult station. We're listed as an adult station. But, it isn't sitting there because they said something. So the reason why is I had these books behind me and I had the gun sitting right here. and it was like sending a mixed message or something. I'm like, whatever. So I just moved. It was easier just to move the gun and put it over there. And, oh, you want to come? Come here. Come on. Come here. You want to come? Don't you be doing it. Get your ass over here.
When do you get Lola?
Thursday. She'll
nice.
She'll make the TV with us. You coming up here? What? Come on, fatty patati. She said she knows how to dress. She always wearing her fur coat, man. She said, I'm ready with my fur coat. Look at her. She's a dumped baby dog, huh? I'm the rotten spoiled dog is what I am. But yeah, she likes to be on the TV though. She's like, yeah, I want to be on TV. She said she comes in if I am in the office more than 5 minutes after 11, I start hearing a chirping sound. It's the dog. It's time to go to bed. And on Friday she gets pissed because I'm usually in here till 1 because shows run a little late. She gets pissed, man. She starts gnawing on my pant leg. She's like, come on, you're supposed to be in the bedroom by now, buddy. What's going on? She is rotten is what she is.
She's so cute.
Oh, and then she got mad at me yesterday because I was cheating on her. I was with two big female dogs yesterday. And of course, when I came home, I smelled like two bitches. And she's like, we're not having this. Oh, no. She's biting on my pants, sniffing it. If she'd have been a boy, my boots would have got peed on. Thank God she's a girl. She can't lift her leg that high. Lucky. Even though she does lift her leg. I don't know. She got that from my other dog. But anyway, getting back to the more serious stuff. So be mindful of your clothes. Be mindful of your backgrounds because, we're not the only ones looking out there. And remember this. We're going to see a boost in our video audience because when the FM audience grows. I don't know why we can't get the internet audience to go on YouTube, but the FM audience will go look. Because they're going to be curious. I don't know if they're going to stay or not, but they might prefer to listen to audio, but they're going to go look. It's like what Howard Stern said. He said, yeah, nobody ever watched me. And then all of a sudden there was 10 people, 5 people, 10,000 people, 50,000 people all of a sudden watching them. So, and fortunately we have good looking hosts. Nobody's ugly. We don't have any ugly hosts. We used to have some scary hosts, but we don't anymore. We had some that made Howard Stern look pretty. But most of them are all gone now. So, y'all all are mindful. Y'all all know what y'all look like. Y'all know how to dress. What was I going to say? The things about T-shirts and all. If you're going to do an outdoor show, I'm fine with that. Inside, as long as it looks nice and it doesn't have an advertisement on it, I don't really care. The wife beater thing is a different thing because people just bitch about it. I'm not even sure why, but for some reason they just don't like it. And because really, I thought the other day I was going to do a special, and I thought about just putting on a T-shirt, a muscle shirt, because it's hot in the studio. And then I realized, no, Joe, you can't do that. You'll be bitched at the entire show. Instead of them paying attention to the show, you can be more worried about what I'm wearing. And the other day, I was doing a show with y'all a couple of days ago, and I was wearing one of these shirts. Do you know how many people wrote into me and bitched at me about this? Where's your tie? You don't look right.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, no. And wow. People are funny. And
they're used to seeing you a certain way.
Yeah, they are used to seeing me that way.
And you command that demographic now.
Yeah. So, that's where I'm at. But, people, you can look good. Just pay attention to what you're looking like and pay attention that you're not advertising some weird shit. Because somebody wrote to me about, who was it? About 3 weeks ago, somebody was wearing a hat. It was a red, white, and blue hat, actually. It was one of them hats. And it had a flag, but it had some kind of writing on it. I think it was for a particular group. And I caught you back in the Proud Boys. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, the Proud Boys? So I went and looked at the hat. I'm thinking, that doesn't say nothing about Proud Boys. Actually, it said, happy to be an American is what it said.
What's a Proud Boy?
Oh, it's whoever invaded, caused the insurrection, whatever the fuck went on.
You can't react. Sorry. You can't react to every idiot who says every stupid thing to you. You know what I mean? Like you can't make everybody happy. It's never going to happen.
No, and we're not going to try. That's why I said that as long as it's not an advertisement, I don't care. You can wear whatever hat you want.
Yeah, because once you're on FM, you got to watch everything because your sponsors are paying for your time. Yeah,
and that's the other thing. Free. You want to make sure that whatever you're wearing, the sponsor's not going to find offensive. And unfortunately, we live in the woke society right now, so it sucks. But it's American flags on your hat is not something we're not going to say you can't wear. That's bullshit. You can wear it all you want. For you Canadians, if you got a hat on with a Canadian thing, we're not going to say anything about that either.
Now that's offensive, Canadian flag. My God.
Hey.
So very, very communistic with that.
I might have to go down there and beat your ass.
That big red leaf staring at me.
Yeah, be careful. I might have to beat your ass.
Don't be teasing like that.
Oh, you know,
Man,
don't be offering stuff you're not willing to do.
You're bad.
Don't even go there.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I was sharing with Joe because I was going crazy at the beginning when we first started the show, and I thought I needed all these stupid fucking big ring lights, and I ended up buying the smallest one that can attach to either your cell phone or a laptop. It's literally this big around. I think it's like 8 inches, 6 inches, and it was under $20, and it gives good light when you're in a darker room. And I was telling Joe the screens in the back, because I was thinking about it. The green screens are under $30, and they slide over your chair. Like, they're really good. It's pretty cool.
And I noticed you can use them because I seen Augie Nosh using his last night.
Yeah,
he put it on. He must have it into his computer or something, because StreamYard won't let you do it, but he must have it into his computer. So
yes,
that worked. So I'm not sure how he did it. Must be a software program he bought or something. But
yeah,
maybe it came with the green screen, but it worked good for me. It looked good.
Yeah,
and
I have
noticed
John
and Emily were using something last night, because when he'd move his bottle, it was disappearing. Did y'all notice that?
I think it was trying to blur out the beer.
Whatever it was.
Beer label.
Whatever it was. Yeah, he might have, you know what? He probably was trying to hide the label, which is because if they're not a paid sponsor, we don't need to be giving them free advertising. I mean,
no. And
last night showed they close to 800,000 listeners, actually a little over 800,000 listeners. So, you know, that's giving away free sponsorship. We don't want to do that. We want them to pay.
No, there's even when you're filming, they like literally strip you down before you go in front of a camera to make sure you don't have anything on. They made me take my name necklace off. I couldn't believe it. I texted Michelle from there. I'm like, they're making me take off my necklace. It just says Amelia on it.
Yeah, they're weird, but it might have been good. It might have shined off the thing. I mean,
no, she just said I don't want anything.
They won't let me wear my white ass beard now. I got to dye it anytime I go on TV.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Well, no, they say it bleaches out my face. It's like I don't have any face from here down.
You just need a tan.
So,
who's they?
Well, different companies I've worked with.
Production companies. Yeah,
about 5 different production companies I've worked with. Now.
They are never happy.
So the one girl says, "I got this stuff I can brush into your beard real quick and darken it up." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, it's called mascara.
She's like, "Here, just sit still." And then she's patting my bald ass head with some makeup. I'm like, "God damn!" So I'm going to grow some hair just like keep the makeup off my damn head.
The powder.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's here and now. That's just all stuff they do to make you look good while you're on air.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if we're going to start using the 30-second countdown. If y'all think you need it, we can. But if you've got a promo, you're not going to need it, because you know when the promo ends, you're live.
Starting.
Yeah. So once it shuts up, you're live. You know, the biggest problem with that is you got to remind me. It's taken Chasing Prophecy like 2 months to get me straight on this shit, because we haven't been doing it. So it's you know, but they get theirs played. It sounds good when they open. It sounds good when you go listen to their archive. It's a nice, you know, solid opening for the show. John's is a nice solid opening for the show. So we just want everybody on the same pages and everybody doing the same thing. I mean, you don't have to look the same. We don't want no cookie cutter version of anything. But we want people, you know, we want people to be comfortable, but we also want you to know that, you know, other people are watching. And this is really more about sponsors than this is anything else, you know.
I sent you my red pill intro. You still haven't used it, man. I haven't seen it.
Send it again.
On camera, Michael.
Sent it to your JoJo. Yeah, I'm working on getting a good camera.
You sent it to Yahoo. Okay, I need to go look at that.
My laptop camera's got an issue.
Joe, if I wore a suit jacket and tie, their phones would break, because seriously, they would break if I.
Can we wear a mask?
I guess you can, since they're fixing to mandate them again.
How about like a green screen mask, so I could put like you know, George Clooney's face on me or something?
Oh my god!
I would do that.
I heard the Northeast from Pittsburgh all the way up to Maine.
No, I want to go on and say obnoxious stuff as George Clooney.
Oh.
I used to do it on my other show. I would print it up and I'd make a little hole for my mouth and I'd kind of just put it on.
Let me see.
Worked really well.
StreamYard is funny lately. They won't give me access to all my stats unless I'm on the other computer. I don't quite understand that, but I guess I get the IP address listed. But anyway, we're somewhere close to 190 million plays, which means so last year we were at, I think we finished out the year at around 60 million. I have to go look for sure. I know we had a meeting about it, but so that means, guys, y'all have been busting ass this year. I mean, really, StreamYard is going through the roof. The first year we had StreamYard, it was like 2 million plays. I'm not shitting you. That was it. and then it jumped up to about 5, and then we got up to about 30, and now we're really just blowing through. So last time I checked, and I can't see it on this computer for some reason, but we were at 185 million. So I'm sure we're close to 190 million. We had done 700,000 plays last night. We were at 3.3 million for the week. That's on one server. One server. That's not anywhere else. That's not iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, any of that shit. And some of these, by the way, like iTunes, we have 3 iTunes accounts, not one. We have 3. Spotify, we have 2 accounts. Quite a few of these we have multiple accounts on. And then there's Podcast Gardens, which do about 25 million a year. So, they're also been with us a long time. But they have the most fucked up statistics I've ever seen, man. They are so hard to find anything on that fucking site. But I can't get rid of them because, they're one of our iTunes accounts too. But, they're doing well, so we don't want to drop them. And then, of course, iHeart's doing well. iTunes is doing well. Then we've got Pod Addict is doing pretty good. And something that almost looks like Ass Pod to me. I can't remember how he said it. It's doing pretty good. So, we're back on Tumblr now, and so we'll see how that goes. And we're on TuneIn as well. We had a really good thing on TuneIn with UFO Paranormal Radio. And somewhere along the line, they must have lost their connection to our server. So they sent me this weird-ass letter, and I sent them back another letter. Well, here, connect here. And they just, I don't know, it never ended up happening. So I started a new page. It was doing really well. It was well over 10 million. So, I mean, we're in a lot of places. So just kind of remember you're addressing a lot of people around a lot of world because people don't realize it, but SoundCloud is not in the United States. It's overseas.
Really?
So, yeah. They were bought out by a company, but they were more like one of the Norwegian companies out there. And so that's why so much of that audience is European audience and Asian and Western audience.
Mm-hmm.
Podbean is local, just like Spotify is local, and Doc and Dino and them are local. So we got a lot of local ones, but we are on a lot of servers that are not in this country. So keep that in mind when you're talking. Like Ni Hai, I've learned how to say hello in Chinese, which is Ni Hai. I've learned actually a couple of languages.
You should say thank you, Jiajing.
Yeah, so I'm saying, I mean, yeah. So I've picked up, who I got that from was my crazy friend, Stephanie Benetti. She would open the show with 5 different languages saying hello or good morning.
How cool is that?
And so that's how she would open, because I would do the initial intro, but she'd take over immediately, and then she'd go into the spew, and then we'd do some satire, and then we'd get into the news. And that's why the show did as well as it did. I mean, that was an easily sponsored show there. And when your show hits X amount of listeners, it's going to be extra easy to sponsor. The group we got in here today, if we can keep our shit together on FM for about 6 or 8 months, we should all see a decent amount of sponsorships once we go back FM. So, it's a lot going on. The FM's a lot of big fucking headaches for me is what it is. But as it goes along, it gets easier and easier. So the equipment's on its way. All we got left is to get clearance from. It doesn't really matter. It's going up no matter what. If the FCC says we can't put it there, we're just going to go buy some land further up. And of course, the further up north we go, the more distance up north we're going to get. So we're looking right now. We're hoping they'll just let us put it where we want to put it. They told me I could put it here, but see where I live, we've got a small FM antenna here. It's about 80 feet. It runs up one of my trees and then runs up another 40 feet. That's 105.3. But I'm already like 20 feet below sea level here. So, we're losing that height. The further we go north, the higher it gets. So, anytime we add a 130-foot antenna plus, the land we're going up, that's just more. The higher we get up, the more reach we get. So it's one of those things. And then we actually had Sam checking into repeaters. So we may even set up FM repeaters in upstate and across Texas and stuff. So we could set the signal and repeat it out even further. So
we have a lot of hills in Pennsylvania, Joe.
Yeah, no, that's another thing. We talked about that. We actually talked about as we go up and looking for places up and places like that, we could set up like a repeater in D.C. and send it to Pennsylvania and then put it on one of the tall hills and just let it go out across Maine and the area. So, there's lots of avenues for this. We've already talked to a couple of antenna companies and a couple of cell phone companies for tower rental stuff. So all this costs money. So, the more the station makes, the further reach we're going to get. That's really what it comes down to.
But you don't think it will be squelched out by more powerful stations?
Not at 7,000 watts, I don't think so. And so.
Well, I mean, other stations like start at 50. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty, especially up by. I'm saying like by big cities,
Well, no, most big cities have a 5,000 watt system. Is what they have. Most of the cities down here only have 5,000 watts because they're only broadcasting local. They'll broadcast now at night. It'll go further. It'll reach out further. But usually they're only covering the city and the metro area. like New York, most of your New York towers are 5,000 to 7,000 watt towers. 50,000 watts is almost coast to coast. Like WWL is 100,000 watts. They can broadcast across the entire United States and way out into the Pacific Atlantic, and they can reach almost Venezuela in the Gulf. So that's a whole
AM
thing.
and AM signal. Talking about
FM. No, they're a huge station.
I never heard of FM going that far.
Oh yeah, easy. The only time you got to, it's because AM, if it hits a mountain, it stops. FM actually goes up and over the mountain, and it goes into tunnels and shit. It's different. FM is a frequency modulation. AM is amplitude modulation. So amplitude,
still line of sight though.
No, not with FM. FM spreads out, whereas AM don't. See, AM is limited to where it can go. Even buildings can block AM. They don't block FM. FM goes around and swings around and stuff like that. So it's a whole different setup. That's why we moved off it. We used to have an AM tower, but the AM just we were limited to where you could go because, like if you're driving through Mobile, there's a bunch of tunnels there. So if you go in the tunnel, you're in AM, you lose it as soon as you go in. FM goes into the tunnel, almost at the very middle of the tunnel, and it'll stop for a second, and then you come back, start coming out, it comes back on. So it'll actually go into the tunnel, whereas AM won't do that. And it goes around the buildings. The buildings don't block it. It goes around mountains too, but it won't go, depending on where you are, it won't go over the mountain, but it will go around the mountain. So let's say there's a mountain like in Pennsylvania, and there's a city like Philadelphia. It won't go over the mountain, so anybody on top of the mountain won't get the signal, but it'll go around the mountain and still pan out over Pennsylvania, over Philadelphia itself. So it's just a different way that it works, and that's one of the reasons we're using FM. But yeah, 100,000 watts will get you coast to coast easy. WWL has been broadcasting coast to coast, but WWL is like a news station. They've been doing this forever. Matter of fact, last time I was out in our Phoenix, I was listening to them out there. And just as clear as I could hear them here. But I like giving them shit. I call into the radio station on a regular basis because they got quite a few hosts there. I'm friends with the producers there, so the hosts get pissed because they won't throw me off because the producers know me. And rank-wise, those hosts aren't as high as the producers, so they don't have any choice. I called in and said, man, you should feel bad. I beat you out 2 years in a row. I said, does your show suck that bad that you can't even beat out a little internet radio station with a little FM tower? They get so fucking pissed. And then, of course, I don't ever plug the station, though, because I figure it's wrong. But people will start calling in, asking for my name, and then Bruce or one of them will give them out my phone number so they can find us. Or a lot of times he'll just tell them, yeah, he's United Public Radio, go listen. So they'll do it that way. I don't feel comfortable because it's not my station, and I am picking fights. So I don't feel like I need to be plugging the network, but I know other people play. Now, when I'm on coast to coast, I plug the living shit out the network. The whole, like every time before we go to break, yeah, I'm on United Public Radio, come take a listen, or on an FM, I'll get the FM numbers out, and they did do it that way. George doesn't have a problem with it, though. Matter of fact, last time I was on, he was like, oh yeah, don't forget to plug your station, man. Plug. It was like with the vote shit last night. Yeah, I was shamelessly plugging the fuck out of this last night. Vote. That was the whole show was about vote. And but so we got a long ways to go, but we're in a good position now, money wise and station wise. And by selling my house in New Orleans, it gave me some money, some extra money to play with. So we're going to do this. I was thinking about bringing in partners, but I think we'll wait until we go up to 25,000 watts, which will get us from about Dallas up through Atlanta into D.C. and out into the Atlantic Ocean a little ways. But it'll give us a nice big coverage. Matter of fact, Houston station is 25,000 watts, and I can pick it up here in Mississippi and listen to it. So, and the reason, see, if it was, they could have done it with a 7,500, but they were too far up north, so I wouldn't have got it. It would have just missed us. But with the 25,000, we catch it pretty ways. But it does matter on how flat everything is and how much interference there is and what's in the way. And like with and the higher you get up, the bigger reach you get. The higher you get that antenna up, the further out you can go.
Just to add this to the conversation, FM radio, microwave, and satellite transmissions are examples of line of sight communication. Thank you.
Yeah, line of sight. They go right around a mountain. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said.
It hits the mountain, it goes around the mountain.
Line of sight means line of sight.
Yeah, it goes around. AM hits a mountain and bounces back. FM goes around it. Don't forget, I used to do this for a living, Michael, in the Navy. I doubt you know more about microwaves than I do.
I'm just quoting what the FCC says. I don't know.
What did I just say when we were talking about Pittsburgh? It would go
they don't know
the
anything.
Mountain, not over the mountain. That's what I just told you.
And AM goes much further.
No, it doesn't. AM don't go anywhere. 5,000 watts ain't getting
AM. AM goes really far, man. Are you kidding?
No,
That's why those guys at sea in those ships listen to AM radio. I could hear 1010 winds radio up here upstate, and I've got I've got hills between me and the city, and I can still get 1010 winds.
I don't know how you get AM then, because AM will bounce off of a mountain. It won't go around; it'll bounce off of it. It will not penetrate a mountain in any shape, form, fashion. Maybe if you got a low cloud deck that day, you can get it. But if you got a high cloud deck, you're not getting it. It's because it bounces back. It's just like any microwave. If you get some microwaves, when they hit something, they bounce back. You got some microwaves, when they go out, they go around. Just depends what frequency they're set at. That's just how it works. That's how I learned. The first thing I learned in the Navy it was how does when we were using O-scopes, how does a wave go out and how does it come back? We had to know that because of jets. And we needed to know how far we could go. Because even microwave transmissions at high frequencies sometimes will not go up and over something, but they'll go around something. But you got to watch those because those can actually burn something if they're too high frequency. They can actually catch grass on fire, catch shit on fire. It's kind of strange how that works. But no, down here, if you got an FM, and plus there's nothing to get in the way down here. Until you're not even going to see any mountains down here until you get to North Mississippi, North Georgia, North Alabama. I mean, you got to be way the fuck up there to even see a mountain. And down here, it's all flat ground. Everything's flat. So there's nothing to interfere with the signal. There's nothing to get in the way with the signals, which is really, 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 really a big plus for us.
Plus, you're underwater. If you're underwater, that's a whole different thing, man.
But here, I'll help you
sea
out.
Level.
WWWL's AM station, 45,000 watts will reach from Baton Rouge to Ocean Springs. The FM station will reach coast to coast.
You could always broadcast from a transmitter on a Zeppelin. What do you think of that, man? You just got those Halloween decorations, right? Those big pump-up ones, just full of helium. Set it up.
Actually, with repeaters, you can go all over the place.
Hell yeah.
Repeaters are only $250 each. They're about this big, about that wide. You give them. What they do is you put them on an antenna. You rent a space, which could be anywhere from $100 to $1,000 a month, depending on where it's at. You rent a space. They go put it up on the top of it. It picks up your FM signal and repeats it out. It just sends it out even further. And you can keep doing that, especially like on interstates and stuff like that, where there's lots of cell phone towers. Man, you can go coast to coast just with repeaters now, which is something you couldn't do in the old days. There was no such thing as that. In the old days, you just have to keep going up watts, and more watts to more power. Of course, there is shortwave too, which goes out pretty far, and then there's a couple other ways besides that you can use. But I think we're almost done. Let me make sure. Got over the clothes thing, got over the dressing thing, got over the FM thing. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something. God damn, I know I'm forgetting something here. It's going to make me crazy all day. Hold on, let me check my notes over here. Let me find them. What the? Sorry, something just freakily popped up on my screen. Okay. So where is my notes? Sorry. Where the fuck did that come from?
Where'd Lauralee go, man?
She's around. She's around. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is. Oh, sorry. I was looking at my. This. Oh, is this the letter from the FCC? Wait, what is this? And that's the other thing. The more wattage you use, the more fucking rules you got to follow, because they can start interfering with different things.
Not on the internet.
Yeah, not on the internet. No, it don't matter on the internet.
Only for government-controlled radio waves that we all own.
Yeah. Oh, come on, FCC, just don't say anything. I was going to tell you what it said, but it ain't saying anything. We received your request. Request isn't working.
They're good at that.
You should have an answer within a week. It's been a week, you fucking assholes. Excuse my language. What? Savannah, Georgia. Wait, what? KGF 97. We're not. What? These people are on crack, man.
Possibly.
Well, no. They gave me a.
Is Hunter Biden now the head of the FCC?
Yeah.
Just curious.
Oh, they were telling me these numbers were used: 103, 99.5, 91.9, 97.9 are all being used. Oh, well, you idiot! You got 100,000 watts. Listen, we didn't say nothing about 100,000 watts.
Yeah, they like you to have some power.
Yeah, KJO FM 103.3, Freeport, Texas, broadcast coast to coast or state line to state. I mean, country line to country line. Whale FM 99.5. Well, y'all can't be broadcasting coast to coast because I know there's a 99.5 here, so that ain't gonna work.
It's funny. There's a Christian network that ended up purchasing or getting signals. They hate Kiss FM for some reason. They had a real problem with them. So they put a signal next to their signal and they overpowered it no matter where they were. And they used all this fellowship money to do it, just to drown out Kiss FM to kind of put them out of business. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Well, I told you the Tennessee Christian Artwork Burton, he bought it because he hated him. He called in one time, and I guess one of the passes went off on him, so he bought the fucking station. He overlaid us for like the last 5 years. He just overlays it. You know what we talk about. It's got to be driving these Christians crazy, man. And I ain't got nothing against Christians because I grew up, Catholic.
Because they don't want to think about aliens. They want to think about Jesus.
You're probably right.
And the world started with Jesus.
So they're going to list us, if we do 10,000 watts, they can list us as a hybrid station.
And it was good.
And we can expect 800 miles with no interruptions. Well, that ain't going to happen. 800 miles are going to be interruptions. Let me think. I live 120 miles from Pensacola. I'm about 500 miles. Oh, no, man, that's pretty good. That'll put us in mid-Texas. Oh, okay, I see why. All right. No. Now, you see, this was what I was talking about. So we can make it all the way. If I go with a 10,000 watt, we can make it all the way to Houston. But we're not going to get above mid-Alabama or mid-Georgia because of the mountain ranges. Because they're something with
You mean FM doesn't go around mountains?
No, not these. There's something in it. There's some kind of reflective material in it. Oh, yeah. Some type of crystal.
Aluminum.
No, they're saying quartz crystal.
Aluminum.
They said all the Georgia mountains are quartz crystal. I don't care. They're above Atlanta, so what I got to do to get above that, I wonder. We'll have to go put a fucking tower up there. Is what we'll have to do.
Put a tower on top of the mountain.
That's what we'll have to do. We'll have to put a tower up there. So it'll go all around all these little mountains in Mississippi and Alabama, but once you get up there, it's not going through. See,
I still go for Zeppelin.
It'll go to Fayetteville, Arkansas, because there's mountains up there, but apparently it's not anything that gets in the way. I wonder what the fuck's in these Georgia mountains. It's got me curious now. I'm going to have to go find out.
Aliens.
Okay.
That is where they see that triangled aircraft, which is probably something else. But.
So they suggest if you're going to use 100,000 watts, if you're going to broadcast coast to coast, they suggest that you put your tower at 1,969 feet. Man, you definitely got to put it on top of a mountain. I guess you put on top of one of them at Georgia mountains, you're good to go across the whole entire country.
If it's 1,900-foot mountain, you only need a 65-foot tower.
Let's see.
There you go.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, they got all that. Mini power, max powers. All right, cool. Look at this. They're sending me all this stuff.
Max Power is my radio name, man.
And so a 10,000 watt AM receiver will only broadcast 5 miles. That's a Class A receiver, too.
I know you get better CB. I have a CB.
Well, I don't like AM for the simple fact that audio always sucks on them, no matter what you do. It always sounds like
that's true. It sounds like an AM radio. That's what it is.
An AM radio, but I think we're good on all that. So, any suggestions, any bitch moans or gripes, I can always write to me. You always catch me. Like I said, everybody. Wait, one thing before I go. Hold on, let me grab the notebook. Hold on a second. The other notebook. Okay. This is the magic notebook. This is the magic notebook. So this has everybody's numbers in them. I write them down every week. As you can see, this is Thursday. This has been switched over, but you see what it looks like. Just shitloads of numbers in there. So let's see. Where is Spaced Out? No, Spaced Out Radio. I'm losing my mind. Where's Chasing Prophecy at? You know, wait, I'm gonna let's go to the new page. Okay, there's the new page. See, that one actually looks better. That's for the three shows. So last week or this past week, Chasing Prophecy 389,000, Outer Rum 1.886 million, and Red Pill News 561,000. If you go to the week before that, Chasing Prophecy did 481,000, Outer Rum did 1.879, and Michael did 546,000, so 546,000. So I keep these anytime you want to know it goes back. You can see how far it goes back. That's the other page, and then like here's Friday's numbers. And it's got the different shows like Science and Beyond, The Centralist, whatever it may be. Well, yeah, I can't see when I do like that, but God damn it, like that. So I write them down every week after y'all show. So you can always write to me and ask me what they are. I keep track of them. This isn't only on Notebook; they go back quite far. This is Saturday shows. You can now it's just Michelle and I, but you can look on here and see. And like Michelle does and a couple other hosts in the networks, they write them down so they can track where they are. He has Writers of the Future. They're doing pretty good. They're in the 200,000 or 300,000.
You could have like an Excel spreadsheet and add it to it, man. I mean, we can all have access to it.
For some reason, I feel, I don't know, I like writing them down. But everybody can ask me. I mean, all you got to do is ask me at the end of your show, I'll tell you. Because I get it so what happens is, y'all know how this works. Now, this isn't FM, but this is how it works on the internet. So 2 or 3 minutes before your shows, I start locking servers. I start locking them. So we're out on like over 100 servers, but there's only 12 that I really count. And they're big ones. So I could sit and count all of them, but I'd be there all day. So I count the big ones. I lock them down and I count them. And each one when I lock them, they total up a number for that show. Each one of them does the same thing, and then it goes on and picks up another show. But I can keep the lock numbers on each show. So I know. So I actually got to physically add them together. But still, it gives me what your live numbers are, and that's what we're after. So pretty soon what's going to go on is those are going to be there, and then every 90 days I'm going to go back and add into those numbers from whatever the FM audience is. Also, starting when the FM goes back up, we'll be charting by U.S. and outside the country audiences. So y'all will know both your U.S. audience and what your abroad audience is. And if I see something really big in a particular area, a particular country, I will list that country, like the UK. Some of the shows do really well in the UK, so I will list those as well. And like I said, we won an award in the UK, which surprised the crap out of me. I didn't even know we were up for the damn thing. Best podcast in the UK. I wish they would tell me when we're up for these awards. Because like with this one, we've been pushing. Last night we were Chasing Prophecy. And we tell everybody what categories are in so y'all can go vote. Now, believe it or not, 3 of our shows have already made it into the nomination category just 16 days into the month. They're voting all month. Writers of the Future, The Outer Realm, and I think The Centralist already have made the second vote. Doesn't mean we're going to win, by the way. It just means we made the second tier nomination. Now, these other shows still might make it because we still have 14 days left to vote. So on August 1st, they go into whatever made the nomination, then the nominees come and vote. And then after they vote, then we see who's going to win. And it's a limited group that nominate on the nominees that votes. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But I know 3 of the shows have made it there. I'm real happy. So it makes me feel good. And 2 of us made it up for most influential podcasts. So that was nice. John and I both made that up. We got into those for most influential podcast. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll just see where it goes. I think Outer Realm's going to end up there for the female part. So, we'll see how it ends up going. But, everybody's shows are being recognized. Everybody's shows are being voted on. It's not like nobody's taking hits. Everybody's doing fairly well. And remember, we are competing with some serious fucking people. I mean, we're competing with shows that have 5, 10, 15 million listeners. And we're staying in the runs. That's good for us. All this can do is increase our listenership. So, like, with any show, we'll use Chasing Prophecy because I've been talking to them all night. But let's say, even if they don't get in, they probably had a couple million people look at their show. They came through and clicked and said, look, or came through and listened over the past few weeks. And also, saying for them when anybody makes it. And I expect more of us to get nominated. I really expect to see at least 10 shows nominated next year. Because, we have good hosts that talk about a wide range of stuff. Everybody's and I will tell you this, and this is one of the things that Galaxy Press told me and iHeart told me. Our hosts seem to really enjoy what they do. They did not complain on anything when it came to that. They really said all of us seem to be enjoying it when we're guests. They said we're really good at pulling information out of guests. So the overall content of the shows didn't get any bitching, neither the audio or video. So that was excellent. The only thing they bitched about was little, nitpicking shit here and there, which we addressed earlier today. So that made me feel really good. That and iHeart wrote a really nice letter to me about for an internet station, y'all are really kicking ass. Y'all are really, your hosts are really enjoying themselves. He said they're very professional in the way they handle their guests, and they seem to control their guests well and bring out a lot of good information. And while they're doing it, they seem to be enjoying their self while they're doing it. So that was really nice. Galaxy Press wrote almost the same letter. Just your hosts seem to be very well balanced and really having a good time when they're talking to their guests. And that's what we want to hear, because that's what sets us apart from other radio networks. If you go listen, we'll use dreaded KRGA. If you go listen to them, their hosts don't sound like they're having fun. They a lot of them sound like they're reading from a script, and they're boring. That's why they can't compete with us. That's why he's got to go out to every conference he can just to get new listeners, because he can't pull them off the internet. And it's busted him, the bastard, but I got caught for it. Their producer, I forget his name now. He's a pedophile. He raped a 13-year-old boy, and now he produces for their radio network. What's bad about it is they've got fairly famous ufologists on there. I don't know if they know or not, and if they know, it makes them look really bad. But anyway, that's stuff we need to worry about. All of our hosts are, bad and go out and do bad things, but they keep a secret about it. I see, like Amelia, she keeps a little Chippendale group in the back. One day they ran across. All you can see was
my desk.
All I seen was a thong going by. So I was like, "Whoa, turn out!"
Yeah, not mine. I don't get up.
But other than that, no. And then you got to watch Michelle's, because shit moves behind her from time to time.
She gets grays.
The ghosties come through and say, "Hi, how you doing?"
But
really, no,
it's a treat.
I'm really impressed though with the content everybody shows. So I'm not. I don't want anybody to think they're being criticized for their content, because they're not. Everybody's been doing a good job when it comes to content. This is just more about bringing ourselves and the way we look to the next level. That's all this is about. With the new FM coming in, all the awards coming in, and the attention we're going to get from these two galas. This is just simply about bringing us to the next step. And a lot of y'all don't even have to worry about it. Some of y'all do, but a bunch of y'all don't. But that's where we are. As a network, this is where we're sitting. We're in a good place. We had a good year. Even though COVID sucked for all of us, we had a good year through COVID. And now we're being rewarded for being patient and having a good year. And now we're going to start moving up the level with this. And then I was invited. I'm not going to tell y'all the what yet, but I was invited to this group. So while I'm in California, after all the stuff is done, I'm going to go meet with them and see what they have to offer. And maybe, they said they could at least bring our listenership up 25%. Wow. To have double to 25% to double. So we will see what they have to say. And they've asked me 3 times now to join. And I said, well, you know what? I said, while I'm in LA, I'll come by and meet with y'all, and we'll see what you actually have to offer and why you want me to join your little nest egg of group of people. Because I'm way out. I'm not even in their realm. I mean, these people got so much fucking money. I'm like, why would you talk to me? I mean, Jesus. These two already know, because they've heard me talk about it before. But it's a flattering offer, I got to say. But come on, I'm not a millionaire by any means. I'm not poor, but I'm not a millionaire. So I'm kind of like, what do you want to talk to me about again? Which host are you interested in? What are you bugging me about? But anyway, I'm going to let y'all get out of here, because I know y'all got busy shit to do today. If you got any moans, bones, glitches, complaints, or anything along that, y'all have my email at icar@docs.net. Maybe today or tomorrow we will see about trying to get make sure StreamYard is interactive between all of us, so that y'all can be using. If not, then we'll have to come up with a second way, using either Skype or Spreaker while I'm gone. But anyway it goes, there's no reason for us not to broadcast when I'm not around. Sean, I'll get with you sometime during the week and see where we can squeeze y'all into. Besides,
I appreciate it.
Well, it'd probably be better to get y'all off with y'all on Thursday anyway, because my company's really, really busy right now. You can ask Michelle and them. I'm getting home like 5 minutes before the show starts, and I literally got to fly like 100 to get here because I'm in New Orleans. So it's just we're really busy right now, and it's hard to get out. When the time I need to be out. And my customers get bitchy if I got to leave when they're in the middle of talking to them. I met one the other day. She's a real sweet lady. She wants a job on the network. Ooh, she is like conspiracy like you wouldn't believe. I pick on Laura Lee all the time about being a conspiracy girl. Shit. I was thinking I might have put them two together. They do like conspiracies of the world, man. I was like, but there's a lot of fun, And I like doing conspiracies myself, but I can't put them on YouTube because they always want to get mad at us. It's hate speech. Oh, it's hate speech. Oh, you don't think it's a legit president? It's hate speech.
Just go to TikTok; they're loaded with conspiracy theorists.
Oh, I know, I see that, but that's a thing they got now. They want to monitor our text. Joe Biden wants to monitor our messages and all your messages on your social medias to get rid of disinformation. Well, who's the one deciding what disinformation is? Because I don't trust the Bidens as far as I can throw their asses. I mean, I wouldn't trust Trump as far as I can throw him either. But I don't want anybody telling me what. Because last time I read the Constitution, all speech is guaranteed protected under the Constitution. Misinformation, hate speech, whatever fucking speech it is, it's guaranteed. So, and like I said, nobody else cares but YouTube.
Well, he tried here.
Trudeau
tried. It didn't pass. It went back to him.
And y'all got lucky because they shot down the DACA thing. Federal court shot down Biden's DACA thing. So we're not going to be shipping y'all 250,000 refugees. They had planned on it, but now
we've taken more than that in already.
Oh, I know.
Tell you that.
No, that's ridiculous.
And 180,000 of them are just in our province.
And then they busted Biden flying them around the country and dropping them off at different states. Texas said, "You're not living here. We'll give you a ride to whatever blue state you want to go to, but you're not living here."
No, it's too much right now.
Well, they just don't want the vote.
The time. Yeah.
Y'all go enjoy the evening. I gotta go do some homework. Because I seen Michelle sent me over the data early this morning, so I've already got that up.
You guys have a good show. Thank you.
Y'all
for
everything.
Guys. Thank you.
And thank y'all for being here.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye bye.
Okay, and okay. Okay.